The J.R.A. Cup, it was, I guess, probably turned out to be more of a supporting act to the Bill Stud on Friday night. It was a race for the stayers, heading into the Cups races. Some pretty good winners of that race in the past, no less than sort of Maldivian before he worked his way through an impressive spring. But Friday night over, what did you make of this renewal of the J.R.A. Cup?
Oh, mate, it was nothing short of disappointing. You know, we had Cephalou winning the race, and he's not going to play a part in the spring. In any of the Cups races, he may be fully qualified for the Cup, I'm told, but you know, whether he gets a run in it or not is another matter, and even if he did, he'd only be making up the numbers. And so, you know, there's no point talking too much about him. The talking point for me was the failure of J.R.A. You know, I think we all pretty much made him the New Zealander that maybe make his mark this spring. And coming off the first up, great effort I thought in the MEMS. He was only beaten 3 lengths by week and hustling, made plenty of ground and run home over 1400 metres at weight for age, and I thought, wow, what have we got here? Once this bloke gets up to 2000 metres, it's going to be something special, keeping in mind that he won the Derby by 4 lengths over 2400 metres, but in New Zealand. However, his run on Friday night rather, was extremely disappointing. He may have travelled a little bit deep, may have had no luck that way, or the pattern of racing may not have suited him, where on-pace runners were winning. But but we did later on see who begot you defy that pattern and come from behind and race home and win by force. So, you know, I don't know where to go with this horse. I really don't know what they're going to do with him now. And
Suman, your thoughts on the J.R.A. Cup?
I thought that it really highlighted, it was a fairly average race. You know, the winner, I agree wholeheartedly that he's not going to
play part.
I wouldn't think so. I think he's a country cup horse at best. So he had his birthday on Friday night, and good luck to him, good luck to Connections. Sailor Gur, on face value, was quite disappointing. But I will say that the horse was second up. It was at Moonee Valley for the first time. It's a tricky track. It doesn't suit everyone.
No, we can't sack him on that.
You couldn't.
No. I'm just saying it was just very disappointing.
And look, the camp behind him, they themselves have shielded this horse a little bit, and we've all been wondering why they're doing that. And there must be a very good reason. Yeah, maybe he's just not mature enough. Maybe he needs that extra 6 months or 12 months. So, but yeah, look, he just didn't race with any zest at all. I don't particularly like Moonee Valley as a track. It's very tight with that Strathair track. A lot of horses don't handle it. So yeah, give him one more go. If he runs like that at Flemington, then I'd say sack him. But yeah, I wouldn't dismiss him on that. Other than that, I haven't got a great lot to say about this particular race. I thought it was just a race, and I don't think that we'll be harking back to it later on and saying, oh wow, what a form reference to the spring. So yeah, I think the less said the better.
Look, I only support Suman's comments there and the comments above it. I have been a fan of Sailor Gur, or not so much a fan, but a person who's really wanted to put him down as one to watch throughout this carnival, and I was scratching my head why he wasn't considered a leading Cups contender by the Connections, but perhaps now we know why. They said he wasn't ready. They bought him with next year's Melbourne Cup in mind, and you know, who were we to ever doubt them, is not knowing what was in the horse's best interests, and it looks to be the case. But I do have to say that if this horse isn't mature now for a Melbourne Cup, what a horse he's going to be next year, because he's already won a New Zealand Derby as a 3-year-old, so and beaten some pretty good horses. So.
And the form out of that's been enormous with Nom de Jure and Fritzie's Boy, and
won by 4 lengths, I assume.
Yeah. It was a heavy track though, wasn't it?
It was a heavy track, but his first up run in Australian and MEMS, was on a hard surface, and that was enormous.
That run was a good run for a horse leading into this prep, and I thought he could win the J.R.A. Cup until I saw how that track was playing, and I think there was enough excuses there in place to say, let's give him one more chance. You always forgive a good horse a bad run, but obviously he's probably out of Cups contention now, just given that performance. And lastly, Devil Moon, I thought under the big impost there, she was forced to get out and go hard up in front and really carry that weight because of the bias, and they knew she had to be up there running, and she was fighting till the end there. So she's a consistent, strong mare, no world beater, but you know, didn't do herself any injustice there with that performance.
Anything else to add, mate?
Just from a pedigree point of view, with Salagur's got an interesting page. I don't think many people would be familiar with Shinko King. His sire is a stallion that stood in New Zealand. He's a Fairy King horse that's actually a half-brother to Archway, who stood in Australia with some distinction. Side Grand Archway and Rose Archway, amongst
Good
others.
side stays.
Yeah, very good side
She's
stays.
Archie as well.
She's Archie.
She's very good.
Melbourne Cup place getter.
Yeah, no, he was very useful. Shinko King himself has had a pretty moderate career, but he was the sire of Bramble Rose, who was a good staying New Zealand filly. You're probably familiar with her, and this bloke too. So I think you would expect him to develop into a 2-miler as he gets older, but maybe clearly not this time. Maybe next year for him.
I'm not going to write him off totally this campaign.
No.
I just want to see where they're going to go next with him, and I do want to see.
Do you think they might go for the they might pull him back, or do you think the Queen Elizabeth at the end of the carnival, Maccabi Diva won that race?
For sure.
It might be a race. On a big track like Flemington, you might see a different.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I couldn't disagree with you guys. I think that's a great race for a horse that perhaps the Melbourne Cup has come around a bit too soon for, but you still want to give them that run, bit of seasoning, put them away after that, and as you said, Maccabi Diva did that and came back and cleaned up. So
maybe even a Sandown Cup at the end. I know Sandown's it's another couple of weeks there, but it's a big purse race, that one, and
nice long straight for him.
And it's a week race. It's always a week race, that Sandown Cup.
For
so
sure.
I think
I agree.
if he ran in that, he's on form. He just wins.
J.R.A. Cup, boys.
Thank you. All right, now